to order. Secretariat, please present the agenda for today.
Sir, can you see my screen?
Wala pa. Okay.
Sir, our agenda for today, sir, is first is the purchase installation of CAAP at runway 1331 and aerodrome beacon at Katmalogan Airport, amounting to 22,520,000. This is an ANS DOTR downloaded project, sir. This will be presented by our end user from the ANS.
Okay, so end user, you may proceed.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Allow me to share my screen, sir, muna. So just to give you the project background ng dalawa nating project na i-present today.
Okay, sige. So diretso na to, yung dalawang
Yes,
project.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Okay, good afternoon, everybody.
Wala pa
Okay,
yung-
we'll be presenting the Katmalogan Airport ANF project, which includes yung purchase installation of PAPI system at runway 1331 and aerodrome beacon.
Derek,
And
wala pa yung ano mo. Wala pa yung screen mo.
okay, sorry, sir. Okay. Wait, sir. Share screen. Screen share. Yun. Okay. Naka-share na po ba sa screen yung...
Mayroon na.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, meron.
Okay, so good afternoon again. We will be presenting yung Katmalogan Airport ANF project of course, yung pre-procurement bid docs. So we have two presentations for today. One project is the purchase installation of PAPI system at runway 1331 and aerodrome beacon. And the other one is the upgrading of power system at Katmalogan Airport. So before we present, let me give you a background of the project. Yung project nito was based on the marching order of President Duterte towards solidifying the President's legacy through the completion of the multidimensional priority airport projects by the year end 2021. Now, DOTR, DBM, CAAP, and PMS agreed on the completion of these airport priority projects by the President with utmost strategic importance in terms of security, economic development, disaster resilience, and connectivity in the country. In a letter received by the CAAP Director General dated February 4, 2021 from the DOTR office, attached is 3 memorandum of agreement for the implementation of various airport projects. And one of these is the Katmalogan Airport Development Project. Under the memorandum, there is a 180 million funding allocated for the Katmalogan Airport ANF project under fiscal year 2021, SARO classified for later release pursuant to DBM National Budget Circular Number 583. Now, the ANF project includes, among other projects, purchase installation of PAPI system at runway 1331 and ABN or aerodrome beacon, and upgrading of power system at Katmalogan Airport. Installation of precision path indicator on a 1,500-meter length runway, an aerodrome beacon on the roof deck of tower building will enhance flight safety landing operation for commercial and cargo unit aircrafts. This project does not support nighttime flight operation. For the upgrading of power supply system at Katmalogan Airport, the completion of this project will supply the required electrical power demand and support continuous operation of the airport, especially during brownouts or power interruption. Katmalogan Airport is classified as Principal Class 2 and is situated in Buri Island, Katmalogan, Western Samar under Area Center 8. I will now turn you over to Engineer Russell Fernando to present the bid docs for the purchase installation of PAPI lights for runway 13 and 31 and ABN. You may take the floor, Mr. Fernando. Allow mo to share the screen again, sir. Hintayin muna natin. Agad. This one. Oh, thank you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm here to present the project purchase installation of PAPI at runway 1331 and aerodrome beacon at Katmalogan Airport. Invitation to bid for purchase installation of PAPI at runway 1331 and aerodrome beacon at Katmalogan Airport. The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines through GAA 2021 DOTR downloaded projects intends to apply the sum of 22,520,000 and 520,000 pesos, being the approved budget for the contract, two payments under the contract purchase installation of PAPI at runway 1331 and ABN at Katmalogan Airport. The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines now invites bid for the procurement of projects. Completion of the work is 120 calendar days upon the receipt of notice to proceed. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders in the amount of 28,000 inclusive of 12% VAT. The procuring entity shall allow the bidder to present its proof of payment for the fees by presenting the official receipt in person. Instruction to bidders. The procuring entity, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, invites bids for the purchase installation of PAPI at runway 1331 and aerodrome beacon at Katmalogan Airport with project identification. Sumobra. Then, funding information, the GOP through the source of funding as indicated below for GAA 2021 DOTR downloaded project in the amount of 22,520,000 pesos. Item 7, subcontract. Subcontracting is not allowed. Number 12.
Diretso ka na sa video.
DDS. bid data sheet, certificate of site inspection duly signed by airport manager of Katmalogan Airport or his/her duly authorized representative is required to be submitted. This shall include all of the following documents as attached to the certificate of site inspection and shall form part of bidder's technical documents. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. For this purpose, the contracts similar to the project refer to the contracts which have the same major categories of work, which shall be supply, delivery, and installation of airfield lighting system. Bidder shall submit all eligibility and technical documents as specified in Section 10, Checklist of Technical and Financial Documents. Class A documents, technical documents is financial. Financial documents, the prospective bidder's audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidder's total and current assets and liabilities, stamped, received by the BIR and or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid and of submission. Class B documents, bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. Item number 10.3, valid PCAB license or special PCAB license in case of joint ventures and registration. Medium A, Category B for electromechanical work and navigational facilities for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. The key personnel must meet the required minimum years of experience set below. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. Then, saan na tayo? Item number 15.1, the bid security shall be in the form of bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amounts. The amount of not less than 2% of ABC or 450,400 pesos if bid is in cash or cashier's manager's check, bank draft guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit. The amount of not less than 5% of ABC or 1,126,000 if bid security is in surety bond. Then, 16. Each bidder shall submit one original copy of the first and second components of bid. Submission online is not allowed. Partial bid is not allowed. The infrastructure project is packaged in a single lot, and the lot shall not be divided into sublots for the purpose of bidding, evaluation, and contract award. The bidder with the lowest calculated bid or LCB that complies with and is responsive to the requirements and conditions shall submit its latest income and business tax returns, business licenses, permits required by the law, latest audited financial statements, and key personal licenses. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirements on the time, or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award. The following relevant project documents are required to be submitted by the successful bidder who submitted LCRB as part of the contract agreement during its signing: the construction schedule, bar chart and S-curve, PERT, CPM network diagram, manpower schedule, construction methods, equipment utilization schedule. Construction safety and health programs approved by the Department of Labor and Employment, purchase installation of PAPI at runway 1331 and ABN at Katmalogan Airport. Special conditions of contract. The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines shall give possession of all parts of the site to the contractor upon receipt of notice to proceed. Certificate of inspection signed by FIC or his representative. 2 years warranty. No day work are applicable to the contract. The contractor shall submit the program work to the procuring entity's representative within 7 days of delivery of the notice of award. The amount to be withheld for the late submission of an updated program work is 22,520,000 pesos. No mobilization and advance payment will be extended or paid for all the contracts, purchase orders for all goods, services, and infrastructure projects. DOTR Memorandum dated 10th of July 2018, 2021. The date by which operating and maintenance manuals are required upon completion of the project. The amount to be withheld for failing to produce as-built drawings and or operating and maintenance manuals by the date required is 2% of the contract price, equivalent to 450,400 pesos. Specification of work. Specification of work. The scope of work. 46. Precision approach path indicator system, scope of work. This work includes the supply and installation of new PAPI system, including primary airfield lighting cables, grounding cables, constant current regulators, remote control box, excavations, and bedding, backfilling, and ancillaries to the work. Lighting system, the precision approach path indicator or PAPI system shall for runway 13 and runway 31 shall comprise a total of 4 lights units placed at left side of the runway and right angles to the runway center line. Light units, each unit shall contain 3 high-intensity tungsten halogen lamps, 6.6 amperes, 200 watts, 1,000 hours average rated life, and shall comprise aluminum housing containing the optical projectors, filters, lamps, lead cables with an adjustable positioning frame, and a 4 FAA mounting legs with adjustable sleeve and frangible coupling to give the adjustment in lateral, transversal, horizontal, and elevation angle. The installation, each light unit shall be installed on top of a concrete mounting base using a breakable coupling of aluminum frangible pipe. Aerodrome beacon. This work includes the supply and installation of the aerodrome beacon lights. Lighting system. The aerodrome beacon shall show aviation green flashes alternating with white flashes with the light distribution of intensity specified in 5.3.3.6 and 5.3.3.7 of IKO Annex 14. The frequency shall be 20 to 30 per minute. The effective intensity shall not be less than 2,000 candelas. The installation of beacon shall be mounted on the supporting structure on a concrete base located on the roof of control tower. Technical specification. Okay na ba? So tapos na. That's it for the installation of PAPI at 1331 and APN at Katmalogan Airport. Thank you.
I think before you proceed to the next project, it's better if we entertain question and answer qualification, clarification for this project. So, for the other members of the BAC, do you have some clarification also by this from the TWG?
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Go ahead, Tony.
Mr. Chair, I just want to go back to the lead data sheet showing the technical, enumerating the technical requirement. Sir Derek, please.
What page po, sir?
Dun sa BDS po, yung technical enumerations of technical documents to be submitted.
This one po.
Yes, sa taas pa po, sir. Lead data sheet.
Bid data sheet.
Yes po, sir.
Layo.
Yun. Ayan, there, sir.
Opo.
Pin po ata, sir, page 16.
Page 16.
Hmm, 16.
This one.
Sa taas, sir. Yung sa requirements po ninyo, sir, na sir, yung sa requirement po ninyo ng sa taas pa po. Yung site inspection dyan ay Ayan, sir. Diyan na po. Sir, under letter K, number 2, sir, for consistency purposes lang po siguro, sir, we have to indicate din yung clear requirement dito kasi nandun sa two pages po ninyo. There's class
Excuse me, sir, can you say it again?
Sir Debbie?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for consistency purposes lang siguro, sir, para lang po uniform yung ano kasi dun sa certificate of site inspection under number 2 na indicate din dito kung dahil dapat ma-indicate nila yung name of the person who conducted the site inspection. Although you have the provision naman dun, sir, sa taas po, sir. Kopyahin nyo na lang po yung nasa taas na provision, sir, para lang po hindi magkalito po. Para during sa opening of bids at saka sa post-qualification, hindi po siya possible grounds for disqualification.
Ano po yung... Ay, sir, mag-i-echo tayo.
Patay ko na lang.
Hindi ko naririnig.
Secretariat, pwedeng pa-mute lang po muna si Sir Floro Panesa po para hindi po tayo mag-feedback. Sir Derek, can you hear me now po?
Okay na, sir. Apo. Pakiulit lang po, sir, para malinaw.
Sir, yes. Under letter K, number 2, copy of the airport facility visitors logbook. I think we have a new provision for this, sir. So,
Okay.
yes, for consistency purposes po, naka-indicate po siya doon sa certificate of site inspection requirement po ninyo. Para lang po hindi po siya magiging cause ng confusion during the evaluation kung halimbawa hindi nila na-comply yung requirement na to. Yun lang man, sir.
Okay, noted po.
So, i-kopyahin nyo na lang po, sir, I suggest po, Sir Derek, na kopyahin nyo na lang po yung provisions nandun sa taas pa, sir, pinaka-umpisa po ng bid data sheet po. Ito po, sir. Under 3.0 letter B. Ayan. Kopyahin nyo lang po to, sir, kasi
Okay.
kasi meron nang nangyaring ganyang instance din po na nagkaroon ng submit lang ng logbook na wala namang entry ng pangalan. So, para lang po maiwasan yung confusion at saka problem. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Speaker niya lang na. No? Note na lang. Yung item number 2. Any more questions, sir, or clarification?
Derek, I have one observation in the special conditions of contract.
Yes, sir.
2 years warranty ang nilagay nyo doon. Di ba 1 year defect notification period at saka 1 year warranty?
Wait lang, sir. Check ko. Alam ko naka-itemize naman, sir. 2 years warranty.
DPL isa.
And the other one is DNP.
One DPL isa na.
Okay. SCC. Yung page ng SCC. Pakinote na lang iklaro natin yan.
SCC sa page 26.
Para mabilis tayo. Page 26.
Yan. Sige pa.
This one.
Baba. Yan. Number 7. Yan. 1 year defect notification period and 1 year warranty. Magkaiba kasi yan pag tinilagay ng 2 years warranty.
And 1 year warranty, sir.
Yes. Pakibura mo na yung una kanina.
Okay. Ganyan lagi tayo, no?
Okay, mayroon pa bang query doon sa presentation ng end user? I think wala ng query. So, Secretariat, what do you suggest? Present muna yung second project or we will consider the proposal of the end user now for this project?
Sir, we first resolve the first project, sir, and then the end user may make the necessary manifestations na lang po on the next project. Na this is just the same, sir.
Okay, end user, so what is your recommendation about this project?
Yung sa'yo.
Any recommendation?
Purpose pa. Okay, recommend ko ang posting.
Recommendation for sir posting for this project.
Comment from TWG.
Mr. Chair, the technical working group would like to recommend the adoption of the recommendation of the end user to have the meeting documents posted, Mr. Chair.
Okay, there is a recommendation by the end user and also by the TWG. Any motion or from the members of the BAC?
Sir Chair, move to adopt the recommendation of the TWG for the posting subject to the revisions that were discussed.
Okay, there is a motion.
I second the motion, Mr.
Okay, so with the recommendation and motion and second the motion, the BAC will adopt the recommendation for the posting of the project. Thank you. So, end user, you may proceed to the second project.
Okay, good afternoon. For the presentation of the second project, I will now turn you over to Engineer Panyesa to present the second project for upgrading of power system at Katmalogan Airport. Sir.
Sahin ko na yun.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Pwede.
Yung mga detalye pang sa akin.
Good afternoon, BAC members and TWG. I'll now present you the upgrading of our system at Katmalogan Airport as part of the DOTR downloaded projects. This is the invitation to bid for the upgrade of power system at Katmalogan Airport with a total ABC of 25 million under the GAA 2021 DOTR downloaded projects. Total number of days for completion is 180 calendar days upon receipt of the notice of to proceed. Instruction to bidders. Pero sa BDS ka agad, sir.
ATS.
Now, we go now to the section 3, the bid data sheet. A certificate of site inspection duly signed with the airport manager at Katmalogan Airport as mentioned a while ago by Attorney Frank. Ano pangalan mo? So, adapt na lang po namin yung name ng na binigay ni Attorney Frank. This shall also include the company ID of the person who will conduct the site inspection, a copy of the airport's facility, visitor's logbook, and picture of the proposed site, including the personnel who conducted the site inspection, together with the airport manager or his duly authorized representative. Bids not complying with this instruction shall be disqualified. For this purpose, similar projects shall be building construction with electromechanical works or construction of industrial plant. The usual technical financial document, the Class A document, PLJEPs, valid registration with SEC or SEC, mayor's business permit, tax clearance, or the technical documents, statement of the prospective bidder of its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, a statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid, a PCAB license, original copy of bid security, also organizational chart for the contract to be bid, list of contractors' key personnel, project manager, project engineers, material engineers, and foreman, etc. List of contractors' major equipment units, which are owned or leased that will be used to this project. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement, certificate under oath attesting that they had no pending case against the government, in addition to the eligibility requirement. Legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Legal Enforcement Services, and also the certificate of signed inspection, as we mentioned a while ago. We will change this one. The item below we will replace this, Mr. Chair. Later po. Now for the financial document, the prospective bidders computation of NFCC, if a class B document, if applicable, for the joint venture agreement. For the valid pickup license, the bidder should have a small B category C and D or general engineering, building and industrial plant with the specialty in electrical, mechanical, or electromechanical works. List of the key personnel required for this project. List of equipment to be used for this project. If the discount as stated in the financial bid form shall be computer written with the same font style and sizes as of the whole text of the said form. This is the checklist of the technical and financial documents. Original duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, bill of quantities, summary of bid proposal, bill of materials and cost estimate, summary sheet indicating the unit price of construction materials, labor, rates, and equipment rental use for this project, to be used for this project. Bid exceeding above the ABC shall be automatically disqualified. The bid security shall be in the form of bid securing declaration or any of the following amount, or in the amount of 500,000 for the manager's check or bank guarantee, and the amount of 1,250,000 for bid security and surety bond. In each and every page thereof shall be initialed, signed by the duly authorized representative of the bidder. Submitted eligibility, technical and financial document shall be properly marked with index tab and must be sequentially paginated in accurate order in the form. Pagination should be sequential based on the entire span of the whole document. Bids not complying with the above instruction shall be automatically disqualified. Each bidder shall submit one original bid. Submission of online bid is not allowed. Partial bid is not allowed. The infrastructure project is packaged in a single lot, and the lot shall not be divided into sublots for the purpose of bidding, evaluation, and contract award. The bidder with the lowest calculated bid, LCB, that complies with is responsive shall the bidder with the lowest calculated bid that complies with is responsive to all the requirements and conditions shall submit its latest income and business tax return filed to the electronic filing and payment system, business licenses and permits required by the law, mayor's permit, tax clearance and pickup license, latest audited financial statement, and key personal licenses. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirement on time or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award, provided that in the event that the finding against the veracity of any of the documents submitted is made, shall cause the forfeiture of the bid security in accordance with Section 69 of the IRR of 9184. The following relevant project documents are required to be submitted by the successful bidder who submitted the lowest calculated responsive bid as part of the contract agreement during its signing. Construction schedule, bar chart and S-curve for GPM network design, manpower schedule, construction methods, and equipment utilization schedule. Also, the construction and safety and health program approved by Department of Labor and Employment. General condition of the contract. Kasi all this pares lang po yung sa the normal bidding documents. Special condition of the contract. Under 3.1. The civil aviation of the authority of the Philippines shall give possession to all parts of the site to the contractor upon receipt of the notice of receipt. Clause number 6, certificate of satisfaction signed by FIC or his representative. Clause 7, warranty period of 2 years. 1 year is for the DLP, defect liability period, and the other one is for the completion of works. Clause 10, no day works are applicable to the contract. Clause 11.1, the contractor shall submit the program of work to the procuring entity representative within 7 days of delivery of the notice of award. The amount to be withheld for late submission of the said updated program of work is 25 million pesos. Clause 13, no mobilization and advance payment will be extended or paid for all contracts, purchases, order for all goods, services, and infrastructure projects under DOTR memorandum dated 10 of July 2018. The date by which operating and maintenance manuals are required is upon completion of the project. The date by which as-built drawings are required is upon completion of the project. PDF AutoCAD file, the as-built plan shall include as attachment to the required hard copy of the same upon completion of the project. The amount to be withheld for failure to produce as-built drawings and or operating and maintenance manual by the date required is 2% of the contract price. Specification and scope of work. The scope of work for this particular project is the supply, delivery, installation, testing, and commissioning of 2 units, a brand new 500 kVA or 100 kilowatt, 3-phase, 400 volt, 60 hertz standby generator set, including the electromechanical works, which are fuel piping, fittings, conduit cable, cable waste trays, and the interconnecting cables. Supply, delivery, installation, and testing of power cables. Supply, installation, and testing of 3 by 167 kVA in bank, single phase 60 Hz, 13.2 kV over 400 volts, all immersed pad mounted transformer, including the 15 kV cut-off switch, metal cross arm, and incidentals. Provision of concrete transformer platform with concrete cable entrance. Provision of concrete manhole from powerhouse to service entrance, concrete platform with 4 by 110 mm PVC, 110 mm diameter PVC pipe, thick wall, application to local electric cooperative, municipal permit, DNR permits to operate and install the 2 by 500 kVA generator, testing and commissioning. The powerhouse building works, all work shall be done inside the powerhouse, includes the installation of the 2 by 500 kVA generator, and the exhaust system, fuel system, cable ducting, interconnecting cables from generator to ATS, support and accessories. Contractor is required to ordinate the civil works contractor of the powerhouse prior to installation of said equipment. Works outside the powerhouse to be conducted includes the, among others, the installation of the 3 units concrete manhole with 4 by 110 mm diameter PVC pipe from powerhouse to service entrance. Design, installation of concrete transformer platform, wiring, cabling of 200 mm square power cables. Other works included in the scope of work but to be performed by others is the supply and installation of primary ports, including cross arms, suspension insulators, anchor connectors, line hardwares, 15 kV overhead primary cable, 15 kV disconnect switch or closer, potential transformer, current transformer, electronic meter, testing, and installation of 3 by 167 kV transformer in bank, including its parallel cabling, termination of incoming 13.2 kV primary line, including appurtenances and other accessories to complete the work. Contractor is required to facilitate application and payment of labor and materials for the above-mentioned works to local electric cooperative of Katmalogan, Samar. Permits like municipal, DNR, and electrical shall be at the expense of the contractor. The contractor is required to conduct a site inspection to satisfy himself with the local condition and facilities of the airport. Subcontracting is not allowed. Okay. Part of this, Mr. Chair, the specification of this project. Kasi the same lang po ito sa ibang previous bidding namin with regards to transformer and generators.
Specs na yun. Specification. Medyo mabilis yan. Mabilis.
Hirap kasi hindi makita yun. drawings. Drawings will be provided to the bidders. Hello. Hello.
Just to continue, sir, the following pages only includes forms and checklists for technical and financial documents, sir. Actually, that ends the presentation. You have any question or clarification?
Okay. Again, to my fellow members of the BAC and to the TWD, do you have any question? Okay. I will have a question. I have a question about same observation to the previous project.
Yes,
I
sir.
think you need to clarify the 2 years warranty. That should be 1 year defect notification period and 1 year warranty.
Copy, sir, will
And-
just erase the 2 years warranty and instead write the recommendation. 1 year warranty and 1 year DNP warranty.
And then second observation is that if the contractor cannot supply the as-built drawing, you mentioned there that 2% will be deducted of the 2% of the contract will be deducted, and then you put an amount. So
Yes, sir.
the amount is based on the ABC.
Yes.
So I think that should be clarified.
Okay,
Baka
sir. We'll
magkakaroon
double
ng-
check, sir. The amount of ABC is 2% of that amount.
Yeah, what yung 2% of EBC or 2% of the contract price?
The contract price, sir, reward na lang of the contract price.
It's 2% of the contract price, Mr. Chair.
I-replace na lang natin.
Okay, sige. So
I-replace
please,
na lang yun, sir.
okay, sige. Please rephrase that kasi
2% of the contract.
Okay, 2% of the contract price pala yun, sir.
So replace na lang namin, sir, kasi hindi naman natin alam kung magkano magiging contract.
yes.
So we'll just delete, sir, yung amount.
Yes, okay. Okay, so is there any other question or clarification from the members?
Mr. Chairman, may tanong po ako regarding dun sa
Go ahead. Manny.
isa sa provisions na sinasabing na no subcontracting is allowed. So ano po ba yung limitation dito? The whole project or kahit portion of the project lang? Then, ang second follow-up question po doon, in case of non-compliance, kunwari, nagpa-subcontract sila, ano naman ang sanction na ibibigay ng CAAP sa contractor?
Thank you, sir.
Is the question addressed to the TWG or to the ANU, sir?
To the end user,
Okay, sir.
Regarding sa question ni, I think the TWG can best answer yung question ni, regarding dun sa mga sanction na ibibigay.
I think you clarify first yung first question, yung subcontracting.
Why is subcontracting is not allowed though, sir? Why do we do not allow subcontracting? For the whole project.
TWG Manny, pakiulit mo yung question mo.
yung una po, regarding dun sa no subcontracting is allowed.
Do you mean the whole project or part of the project?
Ano ba yung the whole project or even portion of the project? Ano ba yung limitation nun? Ano ba yung statement na inaano na? Kahit portion ba hindi allowed?
The whole project,
The
the whole project ang ano namin doon. Ang aming intention doon.
What if portion of the project pinasubcontract?
Kasi mostly ang project na to is electromechanical. So probably papasab ko nila yung civil works.
Also, subcontracting din yon.
Ang inaano kasi namin, baka inaano mo kasi is the whole project.
Yun po ang tinatanong ko. Ano ba yung limitation niya na whole ba or portion? Hindi kasi specify kumbaga sa ano gray area siya na not no subcontracting.
I think dapat kayo TWG magano yan kasi based sa mga normal bid docs dati na nakalagay yan.
Okay, TWG, Tony,
Diba?
please.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Tony. Tony.
Yeah, if I may comment to that, sir. Sir Derek, depende po yan sa intention ng end user po. First, if the end user intends not to subcontract any portion ng project, pwede pong i-expressly provide dyan sa bid documents po ninyo. So, pwede po din naman po na the entire project, hindi siya pwedeng i-subcontract, pero may mga portion pwedeng i-subcontract, isi-specify niyo po kung ano po yung po pwede isa-subcon para po later on kung ma-found out na nagsa-subcon sila, hindi sila magkakaroon ng penalty or hindi sila magka-violate ng any provisions po doon sa bidding documents kasi say for example po, they violated any portion doon sa mga general terms or conditions of the contract, pwede po kasi yung magiging ground for termination or cancellation of the contract po. So, depende po yun sa intention po ninyo. Kung ang intention po ninyo, Sir Derek is, or Engineer Derek is, yung whole project ang hindi po pwedeng subcon, yun yung ilalagay po ninyo. Kung i-allow ninyo ang subcon yung portion, clearly po, pwede po ninyong ilalagay dyan sa general conditions ng contract para po malinaw po, hindi po pagkakaroon ng guluhan eventually sa pag-implement na po ng project.
Okay, so as was agreed by my colleague, the whole project will not allow subcontracting
Any part.
any part of the scope of work. Yun po ang intention po ng document natin dyan.
So, Mr. Chair, if I may.
Nakabaguhin.
Ano ba yun? Anong item?
Go ahead, Attorney.
Thank you, sir. Sir Derek, kung halimbawa po, ganun po yung intention po na hindi na po pwedeng, hindi po ninyo ipapasubcon any part or portion po ng project, then I think sufficient na po yung provision po ninyo na hindi po pwede siyang, subcontracting is not allowed.
Okay.
Enough na po yung provision na yun. Kasi, well, it would apply sa a portion or to the whole of the project.
Okay. Salamat po, Attorney.
Noted
Salamat
po.
po.
Noted.
Manny, nasagot ba yung query?
Yes, sir. Thank you po.
Okay. Is there any other question in relation to the project or document of the project?
Mr. Chair,
Okay.
from the
Go ahead.
TWG, sir, same observations din po yung sa requirement po natin ng site inspections. Just a reminder lang po sa end user, baka lang po makalimutan. Thank you, sir.
Noted po, I will change po ito. Ngayon din po.
Okay. Kung wala nang comment, recommendation, and question, then what is the recommendation of the end user for this project? End user?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I will request for the posting of this project.
Okay. You're requesting for the posting the project. TWG, comment please.
Mr. Chair, the technical working group also recommends the posting of the project subject to the revisions as discussed earlier. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so there is already a recommendation. May I request the comment
Motion.
from the others comment from the other members of the lab?
If there are no more other comment from the members, Mr. Chair, may I have a motion?
Go ahead, sir.
I move to adopt the recommendation of the end user and as supported by the TWG for the posting of the project as prescribed in 2.2, upgrading of power system at Katmalogan Airport amounting to 25 million.
Any second motion?
Seconded, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so with the recommendation of the end user and TWG, and with the motion and second motion, the BAC will adopt the recommendation for the posting of the project after the minor correction on the document. Thank you. Secretariat, what is the next agenda?
Mr. Chair, the next agenda, sir, is the pre-bid conference. First of the preventive maintenance servicing of building management system at Philippine Air Traffic Management System. This is amounting to 178,800. This is an ANS project, sir. We have we did not get any inquiries from this, sir, but the end user may proceed with the presentation, sir, since this is being streamed online.
Do we have prospective
Mr. Chairman.
bidders for this project?
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. I'm Philip Marvin Hoven from Industrial Controls Corporation.
Okay.
We're interested in joining the bid for this project.
Okay, so with that, please present your inquiry or question with regards to the project. Or is the end user has a presentation for that?
Mr. Chair, the technical working group, Mr. Chair, ANS technical working group will be presenting the project, Mr. Chair. And
Okay.
afterwards, the bidder will be allowed to ask clarifications or questions, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So please proceed with the presentation.
Go ahead, Sir Japet. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Attorney Frank. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone, and to the prospective bidder. Welcome to the pre-bid conference for the project Preventive Maintenance Servicing of Building Management System at Philippine Air Traffic Management Center. This is under bid number 21-003-10 Alpha. So for today's pre-bid, we'll be discussing the invitation to bid, the instructions to bidders with the corresponding bid data sheet, the general conditions of the contract, and then the checklist for the project. And then on the last part of the presentation, we'll have a discussion or clarification of by the bidders regarding the project. For the invitation to bid, the CAAP through the CAAP operating budget for fiscal year 2021 intends to apply the total sum of 2,178,800 as the ABC for the preventive maintenance servicing of a building management system at Philippine Air Traffic Management Center. There are 6 items in the required servicing contract as indicated in the invitation to bid. Number 1 is the fire detection and alarm system and the FM200 fire suppression system. The the CCTV, the electronic door lock and IDS, the public address system, the building management system and the power management system, and then the network at the Philippine Air Traffic Management Center. CAAP now invites bids for the above procurement for the delivery of services is required within 30 calendar days for the first preventive maintenance servicing and 6 months after for a period of 1 year. Bidders should have completed within 5 years from the date of submission and receipt of bids a contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2 instruction to bidders. Bidding will be conducted through open competitive bidding procedures using non-discretionary pass-fail criterion, as specified in the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens, sole proprietorship, partnerships, or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines and to citizens or organizations of a country, the laws or regulations of which grant similar rights or privileges to Filipino citizens pursuant to RA 5183. Prospective bidders may obtain further information from CAAP and inspect the bidding documents at the address given during office hours from Monday to Friday, except declared holidays at the CAAP back office. The complete set of bidding documents is available until the deadline of submission of bids from CAAP back office at Mia Road and upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amount of 5,000 plus 12% VAT. It may also the bidding document may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the PhilJeps and the website of CAAP, provided that bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. Bids must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat through manual submission at the office address given on or before the 20th of December at 10 a.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. All bids must be accompanied by bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in ITB Clause 14. The bid opening shall be on the 28th of December at 10 a.m. at the CAAP back office and or via online conference through Google Meet. Bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend the activity. The CAAP reserves the right to reject any and all bids or declare a failure bidding or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 35.6 and 41 of the 2016 revised IRR of 9184 without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information, please refer to Dr. Rolly Bayaban, the overall head BAC Secretariat, at the given telephone number. For instruction to bidders, on the left side of the screen is the standard instruction to bidders for this project, and on the right are the specific bid data sheets for this project. So moving on with the ITBs, specifically for section 5.3, for the requirement under eligible bidders for this purpose, contracts similar to the project shall be A, preventive maintenance servicing of building management system, and B, shall be completed within 5 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Under subcontracts, 7.1, the preventive maintenance servicing of the fire detection and alarm system, or the FDAS, and the FM200 fire suppression system may be contracted, but the amount shall not exceed 20% of the total contracted price. Under section 12 of the instruction to bidders for bid prices, the price of the goods shall be quoted DDP at CAAP Mi Road, Pasay City. For section 14, bid security, the bid security shall be in the form of a bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amounts. Letter A, the amount of not less than 43,576 pesos if the bid security is in cash, cashier's or manager's check, bank draft or bank guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit. Or letter B, the amount of not less than 108,940 if the bid security is in surety bond. For marking and sealing, Bidders should take note that each bidder shall submit only one copy of the first and second components of the bid, and CAAP will be issuing a bid bulletin regarding the bid data sheet for this specific section for the sealing and marking of bids. As an illustration, so that presented on the screen for the technical and eligibility component. So you have one envelope and a separate envelope for the financial component. And then an example of the required index tabs and the paginations for the bidding document. Under section 19.3 for the detailed evaluation and comparison bids, partial bid is not allowed. The goods are grouped in a single lot and the lot shall not be divided into sublots for the purpose of bidding, evaluation, and contract award. For section 20, additional requirement by the end user, Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board license pursuant to RA 4566 or the Contractors License Law. CAAP will also issue a bid bulletin regarding this to specify the classification category of the PCAB requirement. Under section 21, as an additional requirement, as 21.2, letter A certificate of site inspection duly signed by the ANS facility in charge of the Manila CNS ATM facility or his authorized representative. Certificate, letter B, certificate as authorized maintenance service provider of FM200 fire suppression system. Letter C, per CAAP memorandum dated September 2018, all prospective bidders shall be required to submit the following. Number 1, a certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case or cases against the government. In addition to the eligibility requirements for bidders as prescribed under the revised IRR of RA 9184. And number 2, the legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service with respect to the non-pendency of any cases of prospective bidders against the authority. For general conditions of the contract with corresponding SCCs, under Section 1 for scope of contract, specifically under delivery and documents, for purposes of this clause, the procuring entity's representative at the project site is Engineer Julius Ruel D. Resquier, the ANS facility in charge of the Manila CNS ATM facility. For advance payment and terms of payment, the terms of payment shall be as follows. Letter A, the first billing after the completion of the first semi-annual preventive maintenance. And letter B, the second billing after the completion of the second semi-annual preventive maintenance. For schedule of requirements, flash on the screen are 45 items with the corresponding quantities indicated shall be included in the service. The contract duration shall be 1 year, and please take note that the first preventive maintenance scheduled to be performed shall be within 30 calendar days after the receipt of the NTP or the notice to proceed. And then the second preventive maintenance schedules shall be performed 6 months after. For the checklist, may we remind the bidders that the checklist is included in the published bidding document. It is located on the last portion of the document, which actually lists the required technical documents and the financial component documents. So there will be 2 documents. Number 1 is the technical component envelope, which shall include the legal documents listed, and then the technical documents. For technical documents, in addition to the standard requirement of the RA 9184, letter J, So checklist includes the PCAB license requirements, and letter K, certificate of site inspection duly signed by the ANS facility in charge of the Manila CNS ATM facility or his authorized representative. And then letter L, the legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service. And letter M, a certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case against the government. And letter N, certificate as authorized maintenance service provider of FM200 fire suppression system. And then included in the technical component envelope shall be the financial documents, which shall include the supplier's audited financial statements, the NFCCs, or the JVA, if applicable. The last envelope or the second envelope shall be the financial component envelope, which shall contain the original duly signed and accomplished financial bid form and the original duly signed and accomplished price schedules. The price schedules are either price schedule for all goods offered from within the Philippines or price schedules for goods offered from abroad. So all these forms may be downloaded at the GPB website with the indicated link. Mr. Chair, the presentation is complete, and the floor is now open for any discussion or clarification regarding the project.
Okay, so to our prospective bidder, you may ask your question now. Mr. Philip Martin Hulen.
Sir, so far we have no question. The presentation was clear.
Okay, PWG.
That's
Attorney
that
Frank,
would be all. That would be all from the technical working group, Mr. Chair. We are looking forward for the submission of our prospective bidders on December 28, which is the opening of bids 10 a.m. Just a reminder to our bidder, the deadline for submission is on December 28, 10 a.m. 10 in the morning po. Salamat po, bidder, to our prospective bidders.
Okay, thank you. Thank
Mr.
you.
Chairman.
Thank you. And we are hoping that you'll submit your bid on the scheduled date. Okay, so Secretariat, what will be the next agenda?
sir, our next agenda is the pre-bid conference for the preventive maintenance servicing of air conditioning system at Philippine Air Traffic Management System amounting to 1,520,000. Sir, I think we have first who prospective bidders for this, sir.
Do we have prospective bidders also with this?
Yes, sir, we do have, sir. We have we got one response from this one, sir, from Rose Air Enterprise. I think they're already in the room, sir.
Nasa room. Okay, so TWG, now you may now proceed with the presentation, and then later on we go to question and answer.
Okay, sir.
Sir Joffet, please.
Okay. Good afternoon, bidders. Welcome to the private conference for the preventive maintenance servicing air conditioning system at Philippine Air Traffic Management Center. This is under bid number 21-002-10 Alpha. So discussion for today is the invitation to bid, the ITB with the corresponding BDS, the GCC, and the corresponding SCCs. Later is the presentation of the checklist, and then an open forum for any discussion or clarification regarding the project. For invitation to bid, CAPP, through the corporate operating budgets fiscal year 2021, applied a total sum of 1,520,000 as the ABC for the project preventive maintenance servicing of air conditioning system at Philippine Air Traffic Management Center. The following items, 19 items, are included in the servicing of the air conditioning system. Number one, the Air Traffic Management Center. Under the Air Traffic Management Center building are 7 items. Seven air conditioning systems. Under the power plant building, and then the security reception area, the canteen area, and the chillers. So CAAP now invites bids for the above procurement project. Delivery of services is required within 30 calendar days for the first preventive maintenance servicing and quarterly thereafter for a period of 1 year. Bidders should have completed within 5 years from the date of submission and receipt of bids a contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2. Bidding will be conducted through open competitive bidding procedures using non-discretionary pass-fail criterion as specified in the 2016 IRR. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens, sole proprietorships, partnerships, or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines, and to citizens or organizations of country, the laws or regulations of which grant similar rights or privileges to Filipino citizens pursuant to RA 5183. Prospective bidders may obtain further information from CAAP and inspect the bidding documents at the address given during office hours from Monday to Friday, except declared holidays at the back office. Complete set of bidding documents may be required until the deadline of submission of bids from CAAP, back office, Mir Road, Pasay City, and upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding document. Pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amount of 5,000 plus the 12% VAT. The bidding document may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the PhilJeps and the CAAP website, provided the bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. Bids must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat through manual submission at the office address given on or before the 28th of December at 10 a.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in the ITB Clause 14. Bid opening shall be on the 28th of December at 10 a.m. at the CAAP back office and or via online conference through Google Meet. Bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend the activity. CAAP reserves the right to reject any and all bids or declare a failure of bidding or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 35.6 and 41 of the 2016 IRR without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information, please refer to Dr. Rolly Bayaban, the overall head BAC Secretariat at CAAP with a given telephone number. For the instruction to bidders with the corresponding BDS, specific to Section 5.3 for eligible bidders, for this purpose, contracts similar to the project shall be letter A, preventive maintenance servicing of air conditioning systems. Letter B, completed within 5 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Under subcontracts, specific for 7.1 ITB, the preventive maintenance servicing of live birth precision air conditioning units may be subcontracted, but the amount shall not exceed 20% of the total contract price. For bid prices, the price of the goods shall be quoted DDP or delivered duty paid at CAAP, Mir Road, Pasay City. For bid security, the bid security shall be in the form of a bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amounts. Letter A, the amount of not less than 30,400 if the bid security is in cash, cashier's or manager's check, bank draft, guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit. Or letter B, the amount of not less than 76,000 pesos if the bid security is in a surety bond. For marking and sealing of bids, each bidder shall only submit one original copy of the first and the second components of its bid. CAAP will be issuing a bid bulletin regarding Section 15 for marking and sealing of bids to specify the requirement for the submissions. So this to illustrate the requirement, the technical or the first envelope, which is the technical and eligibility component, shall be in one envelope, and the other one shall be the financial component. For Section 19.3, partial bid is not allowed. The goods are grouped in a single lot, and the lot shall be or shall not be divided into sublots for the purpose of bidding, evaluation, and contract award. For Section 20, for post-qualification, the bidder shall submit a pickup license as a specialty air conditioning contractor pursuant to RA 4566. An applicable bid bulletin will also be issued for the specific classification or category for this pickup requirement. For Section 21, signing of contract, additional requirement, letter A, certificate of site inspection duly signed by the ANS facility in charge of the Manila CNS ATM facility or authorized representative. Letter B, certificate as authorized service or maintenance provider of York brand of air conditioning system. Letter C, certificate as authorized service or maintenance provider as Libert brand of precision air conditioning units. Letter D, copy of PRC license ID of employed registered mechanical engineer. Letter E, per CAAP memorandum requirement, all prospective bidders shall be required to submit the following. Number 1, a certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case or cases against the government, in addition to the eligibility requirements for bidders as prescribed under the IRR. Number 2, legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Enforcement Legal Service with respect to the non-pendency of any cases of prospective bidders against the authority. For GCC, with corresponding special conditions for scope of contract under delivery and documents. For purposes of this clause, the procuring entity's representative at project site is Engineer Julius Ruel D. Resquier, the ANS facility in charge of the Manila CNS ATM facility. For Section 2.2, advance payment and terms of payment, the terms of payment shall be as follows, as indicated in the special conditions. Letter A, billing after completion of scheduled preventive maintenance. For schedule of requirements, these are the items that need to be serviced. There are 19 items with corresponding number of units. The required first preventive maintenance schedule shall be within 30 calendar days after the receipt of the NTP, and then succeeding preventive maintenance schedule every quarter thereafter for a period of 1 year. For the checklist, on screen are the required documents to be submitted under the technical component envelope, legal documents, the technical documents, which shall also include the pickup license required, the company or the copy of the PRC license, ID of employed registered mechanical engineer, a certificate of as authorized service or maintenance provider of York brand of a CU, and letter M, certificate as authorized service or maintenance provider of Libert brand PACU, and certificate of site inspection duly signed by the ANS facility in charge of the Manila Cines ATM facility or his duly authorized representative, and the legal clearance issued by the ELS of CAAP, and the certification under oath attesting they have no pending case for against the government. And also included in the checklist shall be the inclusion of the bid bulletins, if any, for this project. The same, a bid bulletin will also be issued regarding this requirement. For financial documents, also include one of the documents included in the technical component envelope is the audited financial statements, NFCC, and as if applicable, the JVA agreement. The second envelope, which is the financial component envelope, shall contain the original duly signed and accomplished financial bid form and the original duly signed and accomplished price schedules. These price schedules may be either goods offered from within the Philippines or goods offered from abroad. All forms may be downloaded from the GPPB website with the link provided on screen. Mr. Chair, the presentation is complete. The floor is now open for any clarification regarding the project, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Jupet. To the end user, prospective bidder, you may now ask your question.
Hello po, good afternoon.
Good
Sir,
afternoon.
concern lang po kami doon sa requirement na Libert certification po from Libert po, yung sa precision.
Okay, TWG, please.
Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am. For records purposes, ma'am, can you please state your name, ma'am, and the company you're representing po?
Good afternoon po. This is Julina Binamira of Rose Air Enterprise, project engineer po.
Thank you, ma'am. Sir Jofet?
Yes, ma'am. Regarding your question, please.
Sir, as far as I know po is wala pong Libert Philippines. And yung certification, sir, I think hindi po siya, yung sir, requirement na certification from Libert as authorized service provider po.
So
May,
may we know
pwede
what
sir na, it's okay sir if hindi na po mag-submit ng Libert po. Or parang mag-submit na lang sir ng certification na yung company po is na nagsiservice po ng any brands ng air conditioning system and precision po.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, based on the requirements, approved requirements, the certificate of as authorized service or maintenance provider of Libert is required. But may we ask the end user if they will be considering the request of the contractor, the prospective bidder, Mr. Chair.
End user.
Mr. Chair, let's wait for the other bidders if they. Let's wait for the other prospective bidders if they can comply with the requirement. However, if none will be able to comply with the requirement as a certificate, we may dispense with it.
So you will be issuing a bid bulletin for that?
Mr. Chair, if I may, we take note, Mr. Chair, of the comments of our prospective leader. We will in coordination with the end user, Mr. Chair, the technical working group will be looking into this. And should we deem it necessary to issue a bid bulletin, we will just provide one, sir, in the soonest possible time. But in time, Mr. Chair, the requirement remains, sir.
Okay, thank you, TWG. To our prospective bidder, is your question already clarified?
Yes po, sir. Another question. Yung sa legal clearance naman po na i-issue ng CAAP.
Okay, proceed.
Sabay po ba ito, sir, nung certificate of site inspection?
Mr. Chair, you can acquire the ELS certification from the legal clearance from the ELS. Hindi naman kailangang simultaneous, but the area or the facility is nearby or within the same compound. You may also siguro after you request the ELS certification, you may also proceed to the facility at the Manila ATM Center to request for the site survey certificate. But both,
Note, sir.
please take note that both of the documents are to be submitted at the same time together with the technical document. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes po. Thank you po.
Any more questions?
Okay na po, sir. No question.
Okay, is there any other bidders, prospective bidders?
Sir, we only have one who registered for this project, sir.
Okay, so for the TWG, kindly coordinate with the end user for the possible revision of the requirement, and that's all for the project. Okay, so let's go now to the next project. TWG end user. No. Secretariat. What will be the next project?
Sir, for the next item, sir, is the pre-bid conference for the supply and delivery of spare parts for city voice communication systems for various airports, air navigation facilities amounting to 1,269,848 pesos. This is an ANS project, sir. We have one bidder from Evercon Builders and Equipment Corporation who manifested their interest in this project, sir.
Okay. Again, TWG will be presenting, and then after presentation, then we go to question and answer. So TWG present. Go ahead with the presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the pre-bid bidders. Welcome to the pre-bid conference for the project, the supply and delivery of spare parts for the city voice communication systems for various airports and air navigation facilities. For today's pre-bid conference, we'll be discussing the invitation to bid, the ITB, with the corresponding bid data sheets, and the GCC with corresponding special conditions, and then the checklist. And after that, the floor will be open for any clarification regarding the project. Okay, for the invitation to bid, CAAP through the corporate budget under fiscal year 2021 applies the sum of 1,269,848 pesos as the ABC for the supply and delivery of spare parts for city voice communication systems for various airports and air navigation facilities. Bids received in excess of the ABC shall be automatically rejected at bid opening. The CAAP now invites bids for the above procurement project and that the delivery of goods is required within the contract duration of 240 calendar days. Bidders should have completed within 5 years from date of submission and receipt of bids a contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding document, particularly in Section 2. Bidding will be conducted through open competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass-fail criterion as specified in the 2016 IRR, and that the bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens, sole proprietorships, partnerships, or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines, and to citizens or organizations of a country, the laws or regulations of which grant similar rights or privileges to Filipino citizens pursuant to RA 5183. Prospective bidders may obtain further information from CAAP and inspect the bidding documents at the address given during office hours and from Monday to Friday, except declared holidays at the back office. The complete set of bidding documents may be acquired until the deadline of submission of bids from the CAAP back office at the Mayor Road, Pasay City, and upon payment of applicable fee for the bidding documents, pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amount of 5,000. The bidding document may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of PhilJEPS and the CAAP, provided that the bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. Bids must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat through manual submission at the office address given on or before the 28th of December at 2 p.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the applicable forms and in the amount stated in ITB Clause 14. Bid opening shall be on the 28th of December, 2021 at 2 p.m. at CAAP back office and or via online conference through Google Meet. Bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend the activity. CAAP serves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 35.6 and 41 of the 2016 IRR, without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information, please refer to Dr. Rolly Bayaban, the overall head back secretariat at the given telephone number. For the ITB, with the corresponding bid data sheet, under Section 5.3, eligible bidders for this purpose, contracts similar to the project shall be the supply and delivery of spare parts for city voice communication systems for various airports and air navigation facilities. Completed within 5 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Under 7.1, no subcontracted portion is allowed. Subcontracting is not allowed for this project. For Section 10.1, documents comprising the bid eligibility and technical documents. Per CAAP memorandum dated September 2018, all prospective bidders shall be required to submit the following: a certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case or cases against the government, in addition to the eligibility requirements for bidders as prescribed under the IRR. Number 2, legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP ELS with respect to the non-pendency of cases of prospective bidders against the authority. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. For Section 12, bid prices, the price of goods shall be quoted DDP at ANS Technical Center. And under 14.1, bid security shall be in the form of a bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amounts. Letter A, the amount of not less than 25,396.96 pesos if bid security is in cash. cashier's or manager's check, bank draft or guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit, or letter B, the amount of not less than 63,492.40 pesos if bid security is in surety bond. For marking and sealing of bids, bidders should take note that they shall submit only one original copy of the first and second components of the bid, and the bid data sheet will for the bid data sheet under the published document, we'll be issuing a bid bulletin for the said section regarding the requirement for the sealing and marking of bids, which shall require the initial of the authorized representative for every page and the pagination. So this is just the illustration of the requirement for the section 15 of the bidding document. Under 16.1, bids must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat through manual submission. And this is the address of the back office. For section 19.3, partial bid is not allowed. The goods are grouped in a single lot and the lot shall not be divided into sublots for the purpose of bidding, evaluation, and contract award. For section 21 of instruction to bidders, additional requirement for undersigning of the contract, a certificate as authorized distributor is required. For the GCC with the corresponding special conditions, section 1 under scope of contract, for delivery and documents, for purposes of this clause, the procuring entity's representative at the project site is Engineer Elmer E. Gomez, the Acting Department Manager 3 of Air Navigation Operations Department. Under section 4, inspections and tests, the inspection and tests that will be conducted include but not limited to physical inspection and inventory, or whatever additional test that the technical inspection team may require. For schedule of requirements, there are 4 items with indicated quantities. For item 1, the touch screen. Number 2, the hand microphone. Number 3, the handset. Number 4, the handset microphones. And then lastly, the VCCS CTM 600 power supply with the indicated model numbers. For the project checklist, under the technical component envelope, the legal document and the technical documents, with an additional requirement for technical documents as listed in the checklist, letter J, the legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP ELS is required to be submitted. The certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case shall also be submitted. The financial document, which shall include the audited financial statements, the NFCCs, and as applicable, the JBA agreement. For the second envelope, which is the financial component envelope, it shall contain the original and duly signed accomplished financial bid form and the original duly signed and accomplished price schedules. The price schedule may either be offered from within the Philippines or the goods are offered from abroad. For the forms, bidders may download the forms from the GPPB website at the following web link. Mr. Chair, the presentation is complete, and may we ask if there are any clarification regarding the project, Mr. Chair?
Okay, thank you, TWG. To the prospective bidder, you may now ask the question. Secretariat, is the prospective bidder in the room?
Yes, sir. We have here Evercon Builders. Sir, ma'am, do you have questions regarding the presentation?
No, ma'am. Oh,
Okay, so
no
TWG,
question.
there is no question.
However, ma'am, we would like to inform you that you have 10 days before the opening of bids or the submission of bids, ma'am, to send us your questions so that the TWG as well as the end user may act on it, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so since there is no question, then we may now proceed to the next project. Secretariat, what is the next project?
Yes, sir. Our next agenda, sir, is the our next agenda, sir, is the delivery of backup converter for VSAT at Philippine ATMC amounting to 6 million pesos, sir. This is an ANS project, sir. For this project, we have 4 prospective bidders who inquired, sir, who manifested their intention from One Commerce International, Communication Services. I think, sir, we have two companies for this, sir, and four participants.
And they are now in the room?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so TWG, make the presentation and then we will entertain their question later on. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, bidders. Welcome to the pre-bid conference for the project supply and delivery of backup converter for the VSAT at Philippine Air Traffic Management Center, which is under bid number 21-005-12 Alpha. For the pre-bid, we'll be discussing the invitation to bid, the ITB with the corresponding BDS, the general conditions of the contract with the SCC, the checklist, and then later on for the floor will be open for any clarification regarding the document. The end user is also here to answer any technical questions regarding the technical specifications. For the invitation to bid, the CAAP intends to apply the sum of 6 million for the as ABC for the contract supply and delivery of backup converter or BUC for the VSAT or very small aperture terminal at Philippine Air Traffic Management Center. Bids in excess of the ABC shall be automatically rejected at bid opening. The CAAP now invites bids for the above procurement project, and the delivery of the goods is required within the contract duration of 90 calendar days. Bidders should have completed within 5 years from the date and submission and receipt of bids a contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2 of the Instruction to Bidders. Bidding will be conducted through open competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass-fail criterion as specified in the 2016 IRR, and that the bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens, sole proprietorships, partnerships, or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines, and to citizens or organizations of a country the laws or regulations of which grant similar rights or privileges to Filipino citizens pursuant to RA 5183. Prospective bidders may obtain further information from CAAP and inspect the bidding documents at the address given during office hours from Monday to Friday, except declared uh, holidays at the back office. Complete set of bidding documents may be acquired on starting December 7 until the deadline of submission of bids at from CAAP back office at Mir Road, Pasay City. And upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding document, pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amount of 10,000 pesos. The bidding document may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of PhilJeps and the website of CAAP, provided that the bidder shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding document not later than the submission of their bids. Bids must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat through manual submission at the office address given on or before the 28th of December 2021 at 2 p.m. Please take note that late bids shall not be accepted, and all bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in the ITB Clause 14. Bid opening shall be on the 28th of December, 2 p.m. At the CAAP back office and or via online conference through Google Meet, and bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend the activity. The CAAP reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to the contract award, in accordance with Section 35.6 and 41 of the 2016 revised IRR, without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information, please refer to Dr. Rolly Bayaban, the overall head back secretariat, at the given telephone number. For the ITB with the corresponding BDS, under Section 5.3 for the eligible bidders for this purpose, contracts similar to the project shall be letter A, the supply and delivery of black app converters for VSAT. And letter B shall be completed within 5 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Under 7.1, subcontracting is not allowed. For 10.1, documents comprising the bid, the eligibility and technical components. Per CAAP requirement, all prospective bidders shall be required to submit the following: a certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case or cases against the government, in addition to the eligibility requirements for bidders as prescribed under the revised IRR of the RA 9184, and number 2, a legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service with respect to the non-pendency of any cases of prospective bidders against the authority. Please take note, bidders, that bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. For bid prices, the price of goods shall be quoted for bid prices, the price of goods shall be quoted delivered duty paid at the Philippine ATM Center. And for Section 14 under bid security, specifically for Section 14.1, the bid security shall be in the form of a bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amounts. Letter A, the amount of not less than 120,000 if the security is in cash, cashier's or manager's check, bank draft or guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit. Or letter B, the amount of not less than 300,000 if the security is in surety bond. For marking and sealing of bids, each bidder shall submit one original copy of the first and second components of its bid. And bidders should take note that there'll be a bid bulletin to be issued regarding this section, revising the requirement in the published bidding document. initial of the duly authorized representatives of at every page, and pagination is still required for this project. Under 16.1, bids must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat through manual submission at the given office address. For section 19.3, partial bid is not allowed. The goods are grouped in a single lot, and the lot shall not be divided into sublots for the purpose of bidding, evaluation, and contract award. Under section 21, signing of contract, as an additional requirement, certificate of site inspection duly signed by the ANS facility in charge of the Manila Senate ATM facility or his duly authorized representative. For the GCC, with the corresponding special condition, under scope of contract for the delivery and documents, for purposes of this clause, the CAAP at the the CAAP's representative at the project site shall be Engineer Julius Ruel, the Rescure, the ANS FIC or facility in charge of the Manila CNS ATM facility. Under inspection and test, the inspections and tests that will be conducted shall include but not limited to physical inspection and inventory or whatever additional test that the technical inspection team may require. For schedule of requirements, we have 3 items with the corresponding quantities. The BUC, the app converter for the VSAT, and the waveguide kit, and the waveguide transition adapters. The goods to be delivered shall be within the 90 calendar days upon receipt of the notice to proceed. For our checklist, the technical component envelope, which is the first envelope, shall contain the legal documents, the standard legal documents, the technical documents with additional requirements, such as the letter J, the certificate of site inspection, the legal clearance from ELS, and the certification under oath. Also, that the bidder has no pending case against the government. And financial documents, which shall include the audited financial statements, the NFCC, and if applicable, the joint venture agreement. The second envelope, which is the financial component envelope, shall contain the original, duly signed and accomplished financial bid form and original, duly signed and accomplished price schedules. The price schedules shall be either goods offered from within the Philippines or goods offered from abroad. Forms may be downloaded at the GPPB website at the given web link. The presentation, Mr. Chair, is complete, and maybe if there are any clarification by the bidders, the floor is now open.
Okay, thank you, Jupet. Thank you, PWG. So, to the prospective bidders, you may now ask question.
Good afternoon, Mr. Alcating. This is Mr. Pimentel from Enhanced Electronics.
Okay, so please proceed with the
My
question.
inquiry is, this tender is only for the supply of 2 units BUC, C-band BUC for VSAT. So it's supply only, no installation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Please answer to the question. Or PWG.
Yes, sir. I'm Jun Galtan from the ANS. The requirement for the ANS is only for the supply and delivery of the listed components.
Okay, thank you. Another clarification, sir. in connection with 5.3 of instruction to bidders, the single largest contract. Should our largest single contract be confined only for the supply of BUC? Because we are a system integrator and we supply VSAT system. And the BUC is part of the VSAT system. So can we submit the purchase order, the contract, the invoice, and the receipt as supporting document for the single largest contract? But the BUC is only part of that system. Or do we, the single largest contract should be specific only for the supply of the BUC, which is 3 million in amount, corresponding to 50% of the ABC.
End user, please.
Yes, sir. As indicated, for this purpose, the similar contract is for the supply and delivery of lacto converters only, and not for the total project or a partial of the project.
So, but sir, if the BUC part is, if the BUC cost, which is part of the project, is more than 3 million, can we submit as compliance the PO, the acceptance certificate, and the invoice for the project, or it should be only for BUC only?
Yes, sir. If you can show the proof that the amount is more than the required amount, then we will the end user will allow that.
Yeah, specific to BUC cost, right? That the BUC cost should be at least minimum 3 million. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sir, last question on the checklist for technical and financial documents. Where do we secure attachment J and K, certificate of do we need to do the site inspection?
Yes, sir. That is our requirement, sir.
Okay. So we have to go there and ask for a certification from ANS facility. And for the letter K checklist, where do we secure this one, sir? Legal clearance to be issued by CAAP. What particular legal service? Is it from the legal department?
Yes, I think, sir, it's from the ELS.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. That's all for me.
If I may add, Mr. Chair, for the information of the bidders, since the CAAP, ELS service, and the facility that you will have to secure the site inspection is within the same compound, you may secure the documents at the same time. But for additional information, the CAAP and legal enforcement and legal service is at the backside of the CAAP main building, for your information. And the facility, or the Manila CNS ATM facility, is on the left side of the compound. Just for the additional information of the bidder, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you. How about the other bidders? Do you have?
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay, go ahead. I think you need to identify first yourself and your company.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm JP Ordiliano from One Commerce.
Okay.
I would like to ask, what is the warranty for the BUC, for this BUCB? How many years?
Mr. Chair, for the warranty of this for this project, there's no specific or special conditions indicated, but based on the Section 62.1 of the IRR for expendable items, non-expendable items, the warranty shall be 1 year.
Noted, sir. Okay, next question po.
Go ahead.
Yes. For the delivery lead time, can we the delivery lead time for this requirement is 90 calendar days. Can we request an extension up to 150 calendar days? Would that be possible?
End user.
Sir, I think there's a need to replace the BUC. So we will stick to the 90 days, but you can request for extension. I think we may grant the extension if ever do that you will win the contract.
This is duly noted. We'll write a letter. We'll write a letter with regards to our request for extension. And last query, sir. For the legal requirement of CAAP.
Go ahead.
Yes. With regards on the certificate of no pending case against the government. We have here is a certificate from National and Regional Trial Court stating that our company don't have pending case against the government or other government agency. Is that acceptable?
TWG.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Go ahead, Secretary.
Sir, usually for our certificate of no pending case, it is an affidavit that is notarized, sir, that the company has no pending case against the government, sir. As for Charlie, that is what is submitted during or attached in the documents. Sir Jofek,
How about
please confirm.
how
Yes,
about certificate issued by the regional trial court stating no pending case for the company?
Sir, as for the regional trial, sir, it is only for one court, sir. So we need a more or less general not in cases the government, sir. Since the regional trial court, sir, it depends on what court is issuing such certificate, sir. You may submit an affidavit, sir, that is notarized, attesting that you have no pending case against the government.
Okay, noted po.
Okay. Is there any other question or from the other bidders or?
I'm good, Sir Arnold.
Okay. Is there any other bidders, prospective bidders in the room, Secretariat?
We have two, sir. But just in case, sir, that our prospective bidders has questions, sir, they have 10 days before the opening of the bid, sir, to send us their questions. They may send us manually or through email, sir, through the email of the Secretariat, sir.
Okay. So with that, we may proceed to the next project. Is that right, Secretariat?
Yes, sir.
But in the interest of time, looking at the title, we have the same as BUC also. Is there any other prospective bidder added to the previous list of the prospective bidder?
Sir, for item 3.5, sir, we have one company who expressed their intent for this, or one Commerce International Corporation, sir. I think they're also in the room, sir.
Okay. So TWG, I request that you will present only the changes or the new items, because I presume that we have the same requirement checklist, the same as the previous one. So Yun lang mga pagkakaiba siguro. Just to complete these activities earlier, because we have other matters to discuss. Jopet, TWG.
For single largest of them.
Sir Jopet.
Project of Provincial Highway S.
TWG.
Sir,
Nangyari. Okay, Secretary.
Sir, I think Engineer Jopet is experiencing a technical problem, sir. I just saw him left the meeting, sir. I'll just get in touch with him, sir.
Only one, you said only one interested prospective bidder. And
Yes,
he is
sir.
now, and he is now in the room, I think.
Yes, sir. We
Yes.
have One Commerce International Corporation, sir.
Okay.
Mr. JP Odeliano, Freddy Corpus, and Arvin Pichay, sir.
Okay, I think there is no big difference with the BUC requirement, only the technical specification, and the end user is present in the room. So you may now ask the question, and so that we could answer, or if not, you may send your question as advised by the Secretariat.
Good afternoon.
Oh, go ahead, Jed.
Yes. Hi, Sir Arnold. JP again from OneCom. May I state for this requirement, sir, I only have one query.
Okay.
There is a discrepancy on the delivery lead time of this bid. As per the invitation to bid, it is stated that it's 90 calendar days. However, with the prices schedule part, it's stated it's 150 calendar days.
End user, please clarify this.
For the 14 units of BUCs, for the small wattage BUCs, I think it's 150 calendar days.
Noted, sir. We'll stick to 150 calendar days. Thank you.
Do we have to issue bulletin for this, Secretariat? Yung
Sir, we will coordinate with the end user and the TWG, sir, for the necessary bid bulletins that needs to be issued regarding the question of our prospective bidders, sir.
Okay. So is there any other question?
Chair. Sir Arnold, let me just clarify that for the second project, for the 14 supply delivery of 14 units of BUC, the calendar days is 150 days, but for the BUC at Philippine ATM Center, it's 90 calendar days.
Yes, yes. So we are now in the second project. So because I think in the same document you mentioned 90 days, and in the last part you mentioned 120 days. So that is the one being asked by PP. So I think we need to clarify this through appropriately. The Secretariat will be coordinating with you to revise, if necessary, the document. Okay, so do you have any other question, prospective bidders?
None of my part, sir.
Okay, so again, I'd like to repeat the advisory of the Secretariat that you may still submit your query 10 days before the opening of bid. Thank you for the participation for this activity, and we are hoping that you will be submitting your bid on the 28th of December. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Arnold. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, Secretariat, next agenda, please.
Sir, our item 3.5, sir, the supply and delivery of block converter for various airports, sir, is this is the last item on our agenda, sir.
Okay. So, is there any other matters?
We have none for the
Uh,
we have none
Jopet?
for the secretary.
Okay, pumasok ulit si Jopet eh. Jopet, ano
Yes,
na?
sir.
Yes, sir. Sorry,
Hindi
sir.
na kayo.
I was disconnected.
Okay na, sir. Anyway, na-settle na yon.
Okay, sir.
Elmer, how about you? I think you are mentioning previously other matters about with regards to BAC Alpha.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
Yes, we'd like to just make some clarification or regards to the supply and delivery of spare parts for the Rodents Watch. I think this was discussed before, and due to that it was not published, it will just by the last block set. May we ask for the update from the Secretariat?
Yes, sir.
Regarding this one.
This is being we are routing the document for signature, sir, of our chairman, sir, and this will be uploaded to the PILJEP's website, sir, within today, sir, or tomorrow, sir. It will be active, and then the mission that we indicated there, sir, is on December 22, the submission for the quotation for our suppliers, sir.
Okay.
Okay, and then it will be submission and then review by the TWG.
Yes, sir. There will be a bid evaluation report, sir.
And how long?
Bid evaluation
How
by
long
the
it take?
TWG, sir.
How can we take the action before the end of the year?
Sir, that would depend on the TWG, sir, but we will closely coordinate with them, sir, and we will try to have it before the end of the year, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Secretariat, I have one query. We know that the opening of the bid of all the projects that we discussed now, pre-bid conference, is on December 28. And of course,
Yes,
the
sir.
procurement will not be completed before the end of this year. Do we have to prepare some communication or advisory so that our activities that we are doing right now could be continued next year without any problem?
Sir, that we have to coordinate with the TWG, sir. And then we will just make the necessary arrangement regarding that, sir.
Okay. So please coordinate with TWG. As far as I know, the funding of this has been proposed in 2022 budget. So we can assume that we have the budget. However, I'm worried about this activity that we are doing, that it will baka mabaliwala. Ano kaya okay lang. We could not award this project, but we should continue early next year. So please coordinate with the TWG.
Yes, sir. Well noted, sir.
Okay, so to the other members of the WAC, do you have other matters to discuss? Okay, hearing none. So thank you, and thank you for the participation, and the meeting is now adjourned for today's meeting. It's now adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.